here we are in the Aft Fire Room. What we're looking at is, I'm here with Joe Lombardi, and this is going to be an unedited video. So you'll see us walking around, things like that. Hope everyone doesn't mind. Thanks for being here again. So we are colloquially, I can't even say it, also known as B3, the Aft Fire Room, which is on the tour route. And so Joe Lombardi is here, and we wanted to take a look to see about the water level. Right over here to my left is the transverse bulkhead that leads to the forward engine room. And you know, if we're having flooding, progressive flooding, free association between these two spots, it's got to be coming through this transverse bulkhead here. You'll see that there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of there's a lot of incursion here just from the nature of the ship. But I think here we're looking, you can see the water that's been stabilized for about 2 days now, and that is at about 31 inches. So it's a little deeper here than it is in the forward engine room. You'll see other things we talk about, you know, that the Navy did when the ship was decommissioned. So we're thinking, and that's why Joe is down here as well, that some water is coming from the forward engine room into the aft fire room. In the forward engine room, it's pretty dark. We're trying to get some lights on there. I just checked the 2 forward freshwater tanks in this space. All right, right up there, and on starboard as well, up there. So that's like one level up. You take this ladder, all right, and you get to that grate, and then you look in, you stand on that platform and look in. Both of those have very minimal water in it. There's a little, just a couple inches or so. And now we are going to go find Joe. So again, if that progressive flooding, that's a term I used and learned recently, progressive flooding. I was calling it free association. But somewhere through this transverse bulkhead, we're thinking that there is water flow from the forward engine room. Here's Joe.
We got a little problem in River City. Not going to be pumping here.
Okay.
No, it's too much oil.
Too much oil. So this, we give the rundown, and do you mind moving your helmet or your light a little bit? Just maybe off your forehead a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, thanks, Joe. So what have we talked about here? You know, there's been a couple of options.
Well,
the options were pumping it into some forward fuel tanks around frame 70, 71.
we've got to get rid of this oil, so I'd say the most cost-effective option is to get a vac truck, have them put the hoses down here and suck all this water and oil out of here for both number 2 and number 3. Number 2, actually it's number 1 engine room, number 2 boiler room.
Yep.
Okay, so to take this dirty water fuel out of here, you can see the top of the water just solid sheen of oil.
Yeah.
Okay? that's not going to go well in a city sewer line. Okay.
Because that was one of the thoughts was just we would be able to put it.
I'm going to get a hold of Bidco.
Okay.
Now that I've seen this, and tell them to cancel the order for pumping out.
Okay.
And then I'm waiting on Miller Environmental to give us a lab report back, which is the proper way to do it. And then they'll advise me on which way they can go, but I can almost tell for certain it's a vacuum truck.
Okay.
That's the way we'll cure this. Otherwise, we're pumping.
Right, we don't want that.
We don't want that into the city's sewer system.
Yeah. So we've got a heater right behind us. Hope you can hear that from Joe. If not, Joe, one of the original thoughts was we got permission from the city to pump it right into the city sewer systems, the 31 inches here, and in the forward engine room, about the 28 or 29 inches. After Joe sees this, he's recommending that we halt that, and we get a vac truck in here, and we
pump this all
pump
down.
It directly,
get rid of it,
right into the truck.
Knock it all down, fix the leak in B2, and stop the intrusion of river water, and then, start buttoning it up.
Okay.
Do the bulkhead, make sure that's watertight between 2 and 3.
Now how are we going to do that?
You got to crawl in there and fix it. Somebody's got to go in there with red hand or a splash zone and solve the leak. Find it first.
So you're saying there's between the transverse bulkhead,
right?
There is
between the two spaces. There's a hole in the bulkhead.
Yeah.
And that's allowing water to migrate back here. You can see the result. We've also got an issue with the ship listing to port. That hasn't been solved yet. That's ongoing.
Do we have we talked about that in our live session earlier today, and we've already had some comments on theories. Do you care to speculate about why we have a 2.8, 2.9 degree list to port?
I don't know, but people have to get on board here and find out where that's coming from. It's water, okay? It's not the brow beam back there. That's made of aluminum. It's 500 pounds maybe.
Right.
That does not affect a 2,200 ton destroyer.
Right.
So that's not it. It's causing almost a 3 degree list. That's flood water. Flooding.
Yeah. Okay.
Some flooding going on has to be found.
Now I know you for the viewers you can't see it, but if you follow the hull here aft, you'll get to the aft fresh water tank right around the corner here, and I think there's some water in there. There might be a foot or two.
No doubt.
That might have some a little bit, but not to a 2 or 2.8 or 2.9 degrees.
There's water on board here somewhere. They've got to find it. You've got to spend the time out of stern, down the port side, and find out where it resides. Then get rid of it. Cure the leak, get rid of it.
Yeah.
So this wasn't here when I first came.
No, it was
This
not.
is new. This is probably a result of the storm. Whether it's a seam working loose or something got hit, I don't know. I have no idea. But it was a pretty vicious storm, and those things happen.
Yeah, it was a vicious storm.
Yeah. We have rivet seams that could let go. We have rivets that can pop.
Yeah.
There's no telling what it is. Stresses build up, and that's the sort of thing that happens.
Now, does water pressure change when rivers swell with seiches? Is there an actual water pressure change that can push
the... If you had 300 feet of water here and you were affected by that, then it might. But we're right on the surface, so.
Okay, so it doesn't really affect, because I've been saying that a little bit, and when we get a seiche and those forces going back and forth and currents going every which way, it might add a little bit of water pressure, but that might not probably... Insignificant. Very good. Okay, thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that. Where else have you gone? Do you want me to crawl anywhere that your old bones might not be able to get to?
My old bones go everywhere, but there's no need to. We've got enough water here to show us what's going on.
Okay.
There's no need of crawling underneath and getting in trouble. It's deep water and deep water and oil, so it's got to be taken out of here.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so thanks to Joe. I'm glad we got down here to look at this and listen to his expert opinion on this. We are going to go, at least attempt to go to the forward engine room. It was pretty dark down there, so we're hopeful that we have a crew who's getting some light, and then that will be part 2 of this video. All right, anything else to add, Joe?
Well, I think it's time to move up.
Time to move up and move out.
Move up and move out.
Okay, all right. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you again very shortly.